How you guys doing? Welcome aboard the next video. Now, I did say that I was going to do THQ, the history of video next, but I really want to get a video out this week, so I'm going to do the one that's simpler, and we're going to go ahead and do round 2, so let's get started.
Press start.
Fatality. Get over here! Hadouken! It's me, Mario! Here we go!
Now, I do have a correction to make. VGM does actually do a wish list. You have to email it in to them. Somebody commented in the previous video correcting that for me, so I really do appreciate that. If I do make mistakes in my videos, correcting me in the comments would be just fine. I really appreciate that. Now, when I do this video, I'm going to go ahead and try and keep a cool head because, well, you'll see. So let's go ahead and start round 2. Oh, yeah.
Round 1. Fight!
Now we're going to have a point system, and the point system will be ranging of game quality, game quantity, game conditions, more expensive games, nostalgia, as in like if it really causes like great hype and I'm like, oh yeah, and no duplicates, and of course the last one being comparison of total game costs to full price of subscription and shipping. Now also each team can lose points. For instance, cheap games that could have been complete in box but ended up being loose duplicates if the game's total worth is less than 3/4 of the total price. So if the subscription was 40 bucks, then the game's total worth has to be at least $30. So let's start off with Retro Game Treasure because I like my dessert last. Hashtag I love VGM. So, opening up this box, the first thing that we get is... Okay, we got Top Gun for the NES, which is considered one of the most difficult games on the NES. I remember playing this one. It was really hard to land on the aircraft carrier in that game. Very difficult. Now, Top Gun usually goes for about $2.25. It used to be on my wish list, but I got it last month and took it off the wish list and into my inventory last month as well. So they're going to get -1 point for sending me a duplicate that was clearly on their list already, on my list already. So moving on to the next game, we got Big Bird's Egg Catch. Now, I do plan on getting games on the old Atari 2600 that were basically children's games, but they're not a top priority on my list because they're very cheap. They're only like, this one specifically is only 99 cents, and I'm not really too keen on getting these. I do plan on getting them eventually, but this was just, to me, this one was a little unnecessary because dang, really 99 cents? Come on, man. But I will give them 1 point because they did get me a game that I was looking for, so I'll be fair on that. So moving on to the next game, we have Star Raiders. So Star Raiders usually goes for about $6.99. This is of course for the Atari 2600. It's not expecting much when it comes to its condition, since it is an Atari 2600 game because the front label's missing. But the one that's typically the one that falls off first is still intact, which is kind of weird, but those things happen. A little bit on this game, this is actually a space combat simulator, and it's definitely something I'd want to have in my collection, so I'll definitely give them 1 point for actually going out and getting this one. And it's almost worth about almost $7. So this is actually a good find in my opinion, and it's not one that I already have. So this one I actually don't have in my collection. So moving on to the next one, we have Low G-Man, or what was it, Low Gravity Man. This one usually goes for about $6.65. The Low Gravity Man is a futuristic action video game developed by Kid. In the game you have a freeze ray you would freeze enemies with, and then you'd have to stab them with a spear just to kill them. It doesn't really sound all too appealing, but I can't really complain too much. This is not bad, not bad. Could be way better. Now, I will give them a point for great condition on Top Gun and great condition on Low G-Man. Now for the last one, they actually sent me a game that's a CD one, so probably going to be PS2 or original Xbox or something. I would want it, like for PlayStation 1 games, some of them are very difficult to find the case with them, so I understand if it's a PlayStation 1 game. PS2 and original Xbox is actually a lot easier to find them with the case. So this little thing says Retro Game Treasure on it, so that's actually really cool. At least they sent it in a case, at least. And we have GoldenEye Rogue Agent. That's the game we ended up getting. So GoldenEye Rogue Agent typically goes for about $3 for a loose copy. And what's terrible about this is that I looked on eBay where I do some shopping for my collecting, and I found this game for $3.50 complete in box. I'm going to take away a point from RGT because this was very poorly managed. They definitely could have gotten me one complete in box without issue. It's easy to find them. There's multitudes of them on eBay, and I found them in multiple other stores after I got in the box and checked. You can find them all over the place. This one for me is not acceptable. That is -1 point. I mean, it's literally a $3 game, and it's literally worth about $3.50 when it's complete in box. I mean, that's not how you do business. Now here's the thing. I will give them 1 point for a mediocre game. And it's not a terrible game, because when you look at this game, I owned it at one point, and it was a lot of fun. It was basically the same thing over and over again like they had been doing with the 007 games during this time period. It was still quite fun. Wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but it was still fun. So I will give them credit where credit is due. It is still a decent game that they sent me. Now I will also give RGT another point for having more games than VGM. They only have one more game than VGM, so obviously they sent me 5 games and VGM sent me 4. But we're going to get to that here in just a second, so 1 point for them on that. The total worth in this box was actually $19.88. When you pay for your subscription, including shipping and handling, it's roughly about $41. So when you take 41 minus $19.88, you get a grand total of $21.12 that went to the company. I'm taking away another point because that is ridiculous. That is literally $20 that went down the drain. They could have gotten me 3-4 more games with the same kind of price tag as the ones they sent me. This is not acceptable. That's terrible. They're going to end this round with a total of 4 points. That is piss poor. With the amount that they could have sent me to get a lot of points, no. This is the worst I have ever seen for Retro Game Treasure. This is the worst I have ever seen. I have watched reviews on Retro Game Treasure, many of them, who have had some of the issues with underpricing, some of the issues with duplicates. Not only did I get all of that, I got then some on top of it. I literally got the worst storm. This is literally a box that showcases every little thing that they get wrong. It is literally one box that has it all. I am just astounded that I got a box that did that. It's just crazy. So now that we got the negatives out of the way, let's move to VGM, Video Games Monthly. So let's go ahead and open up Video Games Monthly, and let's see. Alright, we already got a card. That's a 1-up. Sweet. So we got 1 extra game, of course. Normally they send 3, they sent me 4. Epic. Awesome. Sweet. Love it. I give them a point for that. That is freaking awesome. I should also add that I'm giving them another point because there are no duplicates in this box. So we're going to start off with the very first game, and that is for the PlayStation 1, and that is Final Tactics Origins. That is basically Final Fantasy Origins. This is basically Final Fantasy 1 and 2 remastered on the PlayStation 1. And I'm not really mad about this one not being complete in box or having the original box itself entirely. I'm not mad about that. The reason why is because this game complete in box is usually about $20 plus. So I was not anticipating them sending me one that was worth $20 freaking. I wasn't expecting that to happen. This one loose is usually about $8, and this one alone is already more expensive than any game RGT sent me. So that gives them another point on top of that. I'm also giving them a point for nostalgia because it's freaking Final Fantasy. So let's move on to the next one. We have Pokemon Puzzle League. Here we go. Pokemon Puzzle League. This one loose is $10. I am definitely giving them a point for a game that was on my wish list. 1 point for excellent condition, 1 point for a game more expensive than any of the games RGT gave me. And 1 point because it's freaking Pokemon. Now coming up with the next one, I about had a damn heart attack when I saw this one when I opened up the box. I have been after this game for a long time, and that is Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. Oh my god, yes, I was so glad to see this when it came in. Man, I just about dropped dead when I saw this one. It usually goes for about $10.99. This one is in very, very good condition, excellent condition. Another point, that's a point for excellent condition. Another point for getting a game that was on my wish list. Another point because it's Castlevania. Come on, nostalgia's real, buddy. And let's not forget to add another point to Castlevania for being more expensive than any other game on RGT's box as well. So last and not least, we're going to finish off with a Sega Genesis game, and that is Disney's Aladdin. This one is actually complete in box. It actually has the manual and everything. I was not expecting this one to happen at all. And oh my god, this game complete in box is usually about $13.50. 1 point for getting a game that is more expensive than any of the games RGT gave me. Yet again, this is another game that was on my wish list, so another point for them. It's complete in box, so it's another point there. It's in excellent condition, so there's another point. And finally, because it's freaking Disney, we get another point right there. So when I tallied all of this together, I combined the total of the worth of all of these games together. It came out to $42.49. So then we take $40, that's shipping, and the subscription fee put together is $40 minus $42.49. Son, we entered the negatives. So the company got less than $2.49. They oh my god, they went in the negatives. So I'm giving them 1 point. I should be giving them 2 points, even 10 points for going in the negatives to get me these games. But by just giving them 1 point, they get a total of 18 points altogether. Oh my god. They have completely destroyed RGT in this round.
Finish him! Extreme Fatality.
I don't think I'm even going to do a third round, to be honest. I mean, the amount of money that is lost from RGT, I've actually probably gained through this box with VGM. That's how sad that is. It's just ridiculous. So I will say that I did cancel the account for RGT, so there will not be a round 3. That's just too much of a financial burden if RGT is going to continuously do stuff like that. And the fact that I got the perfect storm, where I got the worst box RGT could ever send and the best box probably that VGM could ever send. This is over. RGT, it is game over. And I gotta tell you guys, this is going to finish up that if you want either one of these subscriptions but you're wondering which one, I'm telling you right now it's going to be VGM. Because RGT, last month, the last one that I got one game I wanted, and it was really worth the price at the time with the first box. The second box was a complete disappointment. It was not worth the money. I'm putting more into it than I should be, when I could be saving that money and buying them on my own. VGM, they're doing exactly what I would love them to do. They're actually going out and putting their heart into this and actually getting me games that I want. Now here's another thing. VGM also sends you stuff with their games. Play the past into the future. VideoGamesMonthly.com. So this is, last time I got glasses, this time I'm getting a wristband. Now, next week I will be getting my next VGM box. So you guys really should stay tuned for that if you're curious. So that's going to wrap up this video. In case you guys were curious as to which one was better, RGT or VGM, we have finally answered that question. It is VGM. They have won substantially. They are the victor. Hail to the king, baby.
Hail to the king, baby.
So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to click that like button down below if you haven't already subscribed. And as always, remember 22 and stay classy, bros.
Continue.